Okay, hi friends. So today I want to try something that is a little bit scary because it's not rehearsed and it's using technology that I'm relatively new to. Basically, I recently joined the AWS Amplify team and I'm still a noob at it and I need to practice. So the way that I'm coming to practice this is I want to practice setting up a full backend for something that for a front end that already exists. And the front end that I thought of immediately was this to-do list on the Svelte docs. So it's got nice animations and it's got all the basic CRUD features of a to-do list, except that it's stateless, right? It's just front end only. So really what we need to do is we need this to persist. And that's a good use case for Svelte. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to basically start from complete scratch but I'll take this existing front end and then I'll build the back end, hook it up, and then we'll have a persistent app. Okay, so let's go. Basically, I figured out Amplify doesn't really work well with rollup. So the only thing I did beforehand was to figure out how to make Amplify work with rollup. So that's what I'm showing you now. So to do list pro whatever. And then I'm gonna, make the best to-do list in the world. All right, so let's also install dependencies. So to make Amplify, before we do that, we're gonna install dependencies. To make Amplify work with Rollup, we're gonna need to do two things, but I think the first thing that we have to do is just to verify that we have a working app. So I'm gonna say yarn dev. And this npm run dev. Why does this not work? What? npm run build. It's called bundle. npm run start. It's called start. I have another app running. Gotta kill this one. Yeah, so this was my test project just now. I can just kill that. Okay, npm run dev. There we go. All right, so that's the basic hello world from the Svelte default docs. So now let's actually set up Amplify. So I'm gonna do Amplify init. I already have set up the CLI beforehand, so don't worry too much about that. Basically hitting enter for defaults for everything. I do need to set this to public and build start. All of those should work just the same. So it does take a while to set up. Yes, but most of the time it's just default profiles. So while this is going on, the main thing I want to do is add rollup plugin JSON because there's JSON files that need to be loaded, and the default installation doesn't come with it. So I'm gonna add that in here, and just stick that in somewhere. You'll be comfortable with this when you figure out JSON. And then we need to add in resolve. We need to add an option into rollup plugin resolve, and this is just because rollup plugin resolve guesses wrong with regards to Amplify's internal libraries. So we need to use this is the only thing I prepped. Prefer built-ins false. That's the thing there. So it doesn't try to sub with its own internal implementation of URL. Okay. So that should be done. Then we're going to add Amplify add API. So now we have set up, the backend, but it doesn't have anything yet. So we're going to add a GraphQL backend and check it out. Check it out. Do I have it? No. Yes. We're literally making a to-do list. So we need an ID, name, description, and let's look at the model for this to-do list and whether it's done or not. So I'm just going to take the exact same model. And maybe we don't need a name. We just need a done. Boolean. Maybe like that. Make sure it's required. And then keep going. So this will create... so this uses Amplify AppSync. AWS AppSync. And that should set up the backend. So let's actually check it out in the AWS console. console.awsamazon.com. I think I have AppSync pinned. Did you know that you can pin things? So that's a little AppSync icon. And the thing that we just... Oh, I need to amplify push it. Because this, I expected this to-do list pro API to be up there. This takes a while, and quite honestly, like, it really sucks. It really ought to be easier because no one else takes that long. But I think it's easy to improve as well because no one else takes that long. So that's what it does, and basically, I think what. So when we did Amplify Init, we generated all these things, and then when we said we want to Amplify add API, we generated these like GraphQL endpoints. All of these I don't have to manually manage, but right now what it's trying to do is say like I'm gonna put in some code in your front end as well that you can just import, and that is going to correspond exactly to the backend stuff. So these are just helpers. I could write it myself, but I don't have to now. I can use JavaScript here, and I'm just going to hit enter defaults for all these things. And basically, these are all just like, it's like an ORM. It like auto generates from that single GraphQL schema, create to do, delete to do, edit to do, list to do, that kind of thing. So that's what we're going to do there. We don't really have much to do here. Like at this point, I usually go take a drink. Let's see what else we can say about this. That's interesting because maybe you're bored. Like I'm just recording this comma there. I'm just recording this just because like I just did a version of this earlier. Not CRUD, not this example, not a to-do list. But I think it's just interesting that we could get an existing front end and then just wire up the back end fairly easily. So I think it's a theory, and I want to record my journey of discovering this because I think it's cool. Yeah, so this Svelte template. Do we want to just like get rid of some stuff of this, some of this? Actually, we don't, right? So it's still, yeah. You know what? Let's actually just copy over the front end. So I can just copy this whole file because it's just a single file. That's great. So here, I'm not doing anything unusual. I can delete this inside of main.js because I'm not passing in any properties to this Svelte file. This is just a standalone thing that should work. So it's still updating. Let's go ahead and npm run dev here just to see that it works. So I should be seeing exactly what I saw over there, but it doesn't persist like dog. So I can reload this. And it doesn't persist the dog. It just starts from scratch. So our job is to basically, add persistence. And then I'll call it a success. So this is updating. I don't really have much to do. Ooh, something generated. Okay, so you can see how we started off with this schema.graphql. And then it had to do ID done description. So that already gave us a get to do with a single ID. With a created add property, and then it's got list to dos. So it's got all these like filter functionality, limit functionality, next token, whatever. We're not going to use it, but like pagination is very nice. And it's got mutations. It's got create to do. It's got update to do, and it's got delete to do. So all these are awesome. Okay, so let's actually see this in action over in the AppSync console. I'm gonna give this a quick refresh. Hit the to-do list pro, queries, and here we have our to-do set up for us. Like we can get to-do, list to-do, all that, whatever. So I'm gonna assume that you already know GraphQL, because we can always get a bunch of good tutorials later on. So basically, we're gonna mock up some queries. Actually, we're gonna do some mutations. So that we're just gonna like create some to-dos. So what do we want? We're gonna create to-do, and we're going to pass it some properties like write some docs. Actually, description is write some docs. Write some docs. Is this how it's done? Input. Yep, there we go. That's the slightly less friendly part of GraphQL. And I probably shouldn't have marked done as compulsory because now I just have to say false. Okay, so let's run this, and it's already run and it's created. So I just created one to do. Let's do another one, feed the turtle, and then let's call that done. Feed the turtle. Call it done, true. Yeah, so now let's actually see the to-dos that we have get all. What I name it doesn't really matter. It just helps the GraphQL query cache. List to-dos. Okay, I don't really care. And then it's like ID. I'm just going to try and list all the... it's items first, and then ID, description. Done or not, created at, and then updated at. Sure. So that gives us both to-dos in here. And that's the kind of, so we've seeded the database with a couple of to-dos, and we should be able to see this when I do this query. So let's actually try this out. Okay, so now we're running into the first thing that so it's been super smooth until now. We're running into the first issue where I didn't actually rehearse far enough because I don't remember what to do next. So I'm going to refer to my previous project, which I did not do this to-do list example, but I did do some fetching. And it's basically uses api.graphql. Okay, so I have to install this library. And I have to install these commands. So that's the thing that I forgot. All right. Lesson learned. All right, so these two things, and I'll talk about this in a bit, but let's just install this thing first. npmi. All right, so what is AWS exports? AWS exports is a bunch of constants that was auto-generated, and it's just makes it easier for files to just pass in some config options. So these are probably publicly secure. Like it's fine showing you on a video, but if it's not, then I'm gonna find out. So that's installed, and now we can actually, I'm gonna check the other thing again, say api.graphql, and then pass it a GraphQL operation. So that's the equivalent of fetch. All right, so okay, so we want to, so we have this list. We have this list of to-dos, and I'm gonna let it be empty at the start, and then I'm gonna say import on mount from Svelte on mount API.GraphQL, and I need a operation here. Let's see if the auto import works. List to-dos. Fuck. Yeah. Why can't you be nice? Hey. That's not nice. All right. So I have to actually manually import this thing. Wouldn't it be nicer if GraphQL? Not GraphQL, TypeScript. From /GraphQL/queries. Okay. So we're going to list to-dos, and we don't need any inputs. So I expect this is a promise that .thens get some data, and I can say that to-dos equals data. I don't trust myself, so I'm going to console log it as well. So this is going to hot reload. May need to rebuild quite a bit. Well, I think it's going to survive. Oh, what fun it is to write and sing. Sing a song tonight. Oh, it has a filter in there. 134. Okay. All right. Well, make this an empty array. Big deal. As we remember from that demo, we actually need to give it list to dos dot items before it actually gives it all that stuff. So items. So let's actually see this data come out. Data. Sorry, I pressed save too many times. So list to dos items. And it's got those two that we seeded just now. So we need this to show up in there. I mean, I feel like I already did everything I'm supposed to do to make it show up. So let's see why this is not showing up. To-dos.filter t.done. Okay. Did I do something wrong? Okay, cannot read property filter of undefined. 134. Man, line 134 is a problem. It says this is undefined. Why would it be undefined? I think it's fine. Console.log to-dos, and I'm also even gonna throw in the empty array if they need it. It should show up. Why is it empty? Data.items. Is it data.data.items? That's gonna be so stupid. Holy shit. Data.data.list to-dos. Okay, all right. That's so dumb. Data dot list to dos dot items. That should be fine. Hey, there it is. No, this still doesn't persist, but at least it loads. Do you know what I mean? Know what I mean? Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. They call me wonderful. Okay, so now we got to implement everything else. So let's do it, right? So we have list. I'm going to say like in big, bold letters. List. Okay. And then this is add. Create, I guess. So let's do that. So it's going to give me an input. And then here is where we need to refetch it. So we need to extract this function into a refetch function. So function fetch list. Okay. This is technically wrong. It's an async function, whatever. And we're just going to fetch this on mount, because then we can reuse that later on. Wonderful, they call me wonderful. They call me wonderful. That's how you know. Okay, this is gonna return void. I mean, I think I'm fine with this. Okay, so so now I got to add, and I have all these to dos, which means I need to do this operation again. Dot then fetch list. Okay, so instead of this list to dos, I need to use a mutation that has a create to do, and it's got those inputs and stuff like that. So create to do input, and it's got a to do. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that ID because I don't think I need it. And let's see if this works. If this works, I am a golden god. Okay. So I have the network monitored. Let's see if this works. Potato. So that was an error. Create to do is not defined. I forgot to import. I suck. Create to do mutations. JavaScript, do JavaScript, JavaScript. Okay, well that resolved. Oh, it's here. Aww, look at me. Look at me. So if I refresh, this has persistence now. Oh, look at that. So nice. All right, let's keep going. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. Delete. So this is a filter operation. We don't want a filter operation. We want to delete. So I guess we just give like an ID. Let's also just throw in the update operation because we're going to need that. All right, let's grab the delete. Okay, so instead of to-dos over here, I'm going to go for return, delete, and then I'm just going to pass it the to-do, and then fetch list. Huh. You know what? I'm also just going to go ahead and do this for the update function as well. So let's call this update, which is equals toggle. Remove. What the hell is remove? This is in the original code. Oh, remove. Why would I remove that? What? Oh, you remove and then you add. That's so nasty. Don't do that. Come on. Okay. Update to do. All right, fine. Okay, so this one has the new done value, and yeah, new done value. So don't do anything. I was gonna add like a Boolean toggle thing, but I don't think it's needed at all. Okay. Have you reloaded? Only one way to tell. So you see that lag? That lag is not good. I can make it more optimistic, but that's something that I think is out of scope for this video. But let's actually toggle this. You see that? You see that response, and then it doesn't switch. Well, it's switch. It toggles on, but then it doesn't do anything. So this doesn't do anything. See, oh, there's an error. What did I send it? Okay, is it update to do? Oh, don't give it created at. Okay, fine. Fine, my darling, fine. So I need to... Ugh, that's so annoying. Const new updated to do equals to done, and then ID equals to do dot ID. So only give that. Then you're gonna like it. Okay. So that is not going to be selected, and then I click this, and it's going to be updated, and it's going to come back fine, and it's going to switch over. So it's a very, very slow to-do list, but it works. Because when I refresh this, it's going to come back exactly the way it was before. Let's delete this. The delete did not work. Okay, yeah, I got to do the same thing for delete as well. To do.id. That's all I need. I'm just going to pass in the ID. All right, let's get some deletion going on. Delete. Learn Amplify. So it's the response is very slow, but I can still check this off and have it over to the done column. And when I when I open a incognito window, I can load it up just fine. Let's see some browser syncing action, yeah? Unclick this. See it move over. Oh, this did not move over. I need to refresh it constantly. So, I mean, if I refresh this, it's gonna move over. So I need to, I can do like a render loop type of thing there. The other thing that I'm also interested in is offline mode. So, I mean, at this point we're done. I'm just having fun. Offline mode. Let's go offline. This should still work, except it doesn't. So basically, there's this whole level of AppSync where you can do everything offline, and I don't know it yet. So I think that's Datastore, and that's like the syncing mode stuff. I haven't done that, but I think it was still pretty easy to add, persistence to this app, which, is a nice superpower, I think. I just need to, make it a little bit faster, more optimistic, but it's done. And that is Amplify with AppSync. Cheers.